Greetings, fellow Earthlings and viewers across the World Wide Web. This is Tune 215, and right now we're in the state of Pennsylvania. We're currently in the city of Philadelphia. Today we're going to be doing a random virtual driving tour around North Philadelphia. Specifically, we're going to focus on the North Philadelphia east portion of the city. Please excuse me, I did not bring my headset, so the audio isn't going to sound as clear as I would like it to sound. So I'm going to do my best to speak up and project my voice. Right now we're in the Fairhill neighborhood on the 2700 block of Reese Street at the intersection of Reese and Somerset. Now recently, I believe within the last 24 to 48 hour period, there was a police involved shooting with a dirt bike rider here at this corner coming up. It's actually Father's Day weekend. It's 84 degrees and cloudy. It's a fair amount of sun out. We're at the intersection of Fairhill and Somerset. On my left hand side is where the shooting took place that involved a police officer and a dirt bike rider, with this lot on my left hand side at the intersection of 6th and Somerset. On my right hand side we have Fairhill Middle School. I'm gonna go around the block just so that you guys can get a better look at where this police involved shooting with the dirt bike rider took place at. You alright?
Happy Father's Day.
Thanks, Pop. Alright, we're at 7th and Somerset. On our left hand side we have the original Edison High School. This is also where Julio the Burgos used to be at. To my understanding, I believe Edison was one of the high schools that lost the most in one of the wars. I'm not sure if it was the Vietnam War. I don't know specifically what war era did Edison lose the most students in the Philadelphia area, but I know it's something similar to that nature. We're gonna make this right-hand turn coming up on Cambria Street. We're in the heart of the Badlands. We're at 7th and Cambria. We're gonna make this right-hand turn on the 600 block of Cambria. On our left-hand side, we have what looks to be like an outdoor yard sale, garage sale, minus the yard and the garage. It's pretty much like a curb sale. So since it's Father's Day weekend, you do see a fair amount of gentlemen outside, socializing, politicking, recreating for the weekend. We're gonna make this right-hand turn on 6th Street, just so we can take one last look at this lot where this police-involved shooting took place. Philadelphia police investigating after officer shoots dirt bike rider, Saturday, June 15th, 2024. This article was written by 6 ABC digital staff and Brianna Gallagher. It happened just 3:30 p.m., a little after 3:30 p.m. on 6th and Somerset. Police say an ATV detail was in the area when officers spotted a dirt bike rider. They were following him on his dirt bike, which they knew was illegal in the city, noted the Deputy Commissioner Mike Cram with Philadelphia Police. They followed him to this parking lot right here on my left. You see this parking lot? Where it says state inspection? So he went in there, and apparently when he went in there, he brandished a firearm. And once the police officer saw the firearm, the police officer shot at the dirt bike rider, who is now in critical condition. We're at Lehigh Avenue. We're gonna make this left-hand turn on Lehigh Avenue. We're at 6th and Lehigh. We're gonna go take a spin by Kensington. I know I've had a lot of requests over the last few months. A lot of people told me, Tune, I think you should take a look at Kensington, considering what the new mayor is doing to the area. She's supposed to be cleaning up the area. So we're gonna take a good look at it 1 month after the initial startup of their cleanup. We're making a left-hand turn on Lehigh Avenue. This is that Dunkin' Donuts where the manager was gunned down during a robbery. Am I right? I remember on my left at JL Mini Market when I was in middle school, they did a heist where they yanked the ATM out of that mini market. So there was a giant hole in the wall. And I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. I'm gonna make a right, and I'm gonna show y'all how we get a free car wash here in the city of Philadelphia. So if you know, then you know. If you're from the city, then you already know. Fire hydrants and fire pumps are on damn near all the time in the summer, especially in Philly. I can't speak for other big cities like New York and Chicago. If y'all from them places, touch base and let me know. Do y'all have the fire hydrants on in the summer? Here in Philly, the fire hydrants be on and popping. And I see one on, and I got a bunch of bird poop all over my vehicle. So guess what? We're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. We're gonna conduct a virtual tour, and we're gonna do a mini car wash. Right now we at 5th and Lehigh Avenue, El Centro de Oro. This is, you know, Puerto Ricoville, Puerto Rican capital right here. All the Puerto Ricans are from this part of town. I'm gonna make this right-hand turn right here on Lawrence Street, and we're gonna go through this little hood car wash / pool / all the above. That's perfect because all the bird poop was on the right side of my vehicle. So obviously it's not an official car wash, but it beats driving around with bird poop. So as we're driving by the park, we're doing about a cool 6-7 miles an hour. You got people playing music, sitting outside. The park is packed, popping, a lot of people out. All right, so we're gonna continue traveling forward, and then we're gonna work our way around to Kensington. Right now we're in the West Kensington neighborhood, which is not to be confused with the notorious Kensington where the opioid crisis is taking place. They both carry the same namesake, but they're located geographically a couple miles apart. All right, we're gonna make this left-hand turn, and we're gonna work our way out of this neighborhood. We're passing Lithgow Street, 2400 block of Lithgow. We're now approaching the intersection of 4th and Cumberland. We're traveling eastbound on Cumberland Street, the 300 block of Cumberland. One time there was a little Del Sol in that lot on my left-hand side. I saw that ended up stolen on Craigslist. They had put a picture, hey, if you see my Honda Del Sol, please let me know. I'm willing to give a reward. So if you know me, you know I like cars, especially Honda specifically, you know, so I'm from around here too. I'm from around this way. So I happened to be driving by one day and saw that car that fit the description in that lot. The same one. So what I do? I'm trying to pick up on that reward, you heard? So I contacted, look that little yard sale out front on my right. So I contacted the owner, and I let him know, hey buddy, I think I know where your vehicle's at. I gave him the intersection. That's all I did. I said, I'm gonna give you the intersection. That's the most that I'm gonna give you. I identified where your vehicle is located. So he was, I guess, a bit timid. He didn't want to go check it out. He wanted me to go with him, and I told him, oh, that wasn't part of the deal. I'm not, you know, lost and found. I'm gonna go help you acquire your vehicle. I just noticed this looks like your vehicle. I think you should check it out. Well, anyway, we're at Hancock. Let's make this left-hand turn on Hancock. Well, anyway, little did I expect, he ended up, they're playing cornhole on my left-hand side. So little did I expect, he neglected it. About 2 weeks went by. He said, hey buddy, I just wanted to tell you, thank you, you were right, that was my car, but unfortunately it wasn't where you said it was at. It was about 2 blocks up, stripped down. Now mind you, when I notified him and I told him about it, the whole car was still pretty much in one piece and it was in the lot. But since he procrastinated and he waited so long, 2 weeks later his car was 2 blocks up on Indiana next to the train tracks, stripped. Headlights off, all the parts off. They basically stripped it for parts. You think he gave me a reward? No, you already answered it in your own head. He didn't give me a penny. He said, buddy, I'm sorry. I would have gave a reward if the car was in one piece. I can't afford it right now. I got to get back on my feet and I got to try to find a new car. I mean, I can't hold him accountable. You know, you must give me a reward. You said you was going to give me a reward. Where's my reward? Where's my finder's fee? Even though you found the skeleton of your former vehicle, where's my finder's fee? I'm gonna make this right-hand turn and make a quick little left right here by Mutter. Let's make this left-hand turn. We're passing McGuire Playground on my right-hand side. Basketball court, jungle gym, handball court, one of the official handball courts. One of the very few official handball courts here in North Philadelphia, or Philadelphia in general. We have the Iris Brown homes on my right-hand side. Originally, I came through here to go through this little block Mutter, but it looks like it's closed for the Father's Day event. So we're gonna make this left. We're gonna try to make a left quickly, just so we can beat this little music going on, because we're gonna hear a lot of music. That's one thing about the city of Philadelphia. It comes alive. Music everywhere, everybody playing music. You go to different blocks have music, different cars have music. So we got a couple youngsters over here switching up on the scooter. Let's watch their shenanigans. How they gonna have a girl motorbike, bro? Thank you, homegirl. Thank you.
You're welcome.
She was the only one that had the sense to move the bike. The young dudes was like, hold on, one more, give me a second. I think he was filling up he had like an Orbeez gun. It sounded like they was about to do a drive-by. He was filling up his joint. He was like, come on, let's run up on him. Rest in peace to the homeboy, Louis, that passed away. This is his store on my left-hand side. A couple months ago, he lost his life in the store. We're passing Mutter. We're on Mutter and Cambria right now. Now we're at Masher and Cambria. You see we got pumps on left and right. I don't know if y'all noticed. Have y'all been taking notes? Wow, there was a rest in peace memorial on the block with the young boys, the girls and the guys that was outside. Then there's another rest in peace memorial over here on my left. These are new rest in peace memorials. They're not older ones, which means people recently. And this little strip right here, for the last couple decades, we're talking about 20, 30 years, lives have been taken all up and down this avenue right here. See, homie on the left got the key to the fire hydrant. That's a gift and a curse in disguise, because when you have a key to the fire hydrant and everybody in the neighborhood knows it, they knock on your door and say, hey, excuse me. Let's say if the name's Mike, they're like, hey, Mr. Mike, can you open up the fire pump, please? You know what I mean? They're like, can you open up the fire pump, please? Everybody in the neighborhood. That's how it was when I was growing up. We all knew who had the key, and we would bug whoever had the key. One time my pop had the key. Tell me why they was knocking on my door. Talking about some, can your father open up the pump? My pop gave up that privilege or duty or responsibility real quick. He wasn't having people knock on the door. But they usually give that to the block captain. Well, as you guys can see, that gentleman just fell backwards while his lady fell forward. So about this cleanup that's been happening in the Kensington area, since we're now approaching the notorious Kensington. We are borderline Kensington and Fairhill. Kensington actually starts traditional Kensington without West, East, or Old Kensington, because there's 4 Kensingtons. I gotta remind the new viewers of that, not the old viewers. The old viewers already know this, but the new viewers, there's 4 neighborhoods that carry the name Kensington. Old Kensington, which has been gentrified over 20 years ago. East Kensington, which began gentrification, I would say 10, 15 years ago. And same thing with West Kensington. I would say that gentrification began here 10, 12, 13 years ago, give or take. regular Kensington, located geographically north of the other 3 Kensingtons, that's where we're going to be entering. And that's where the problematic area where the mayor was targeting her little cleanup. So we're like 3, 4, 5 minutes away from there, give or take, depending on what type of scenic view I decide to take today. I can get there faster, I can get there slower, but I'm going to take you guys through what I believe to be the hood scenic route. So you got Mayor Cheryl Parker. She addresses to clean up Kensington in Town Hall. She has a proposed $6.29 million budget to clean up Kensington. Almost $7 million, a little over $6 million to clean up Kensington. What will those funds be used for? That's the question. During a town hall meeting on Tuesday, Mayor Cheryl Parker briefly spoke about her plans to clean up Kensington just hours before her administration plans to remove a homeless encampment in the area. Shakia Smith says, I think it's a good thing that they're trying to do something about it. So the mayor appears to be hopeful in her endeavors in cleaning up the Kensington area. Now, if you guys have been following my channel for quite some time, I've said this several years ago. I've said it again and again, and people didn't believe me. I said Kensington will get cleaned up. I gave it about 5-10 years, 7 years ago when I said it. I'm a lifelong resident of the Kensington area, and I know I've seen the spikes, and I've seen the projection of where the area was supposed to like go, and it's getting closer and closer to that time that I predicted and projected. I said it will get cleaned up. And we got a mayor that she came in, she relocated, probably not the best way, but she relocated a lot of the encampments that were under the avenue, which we'll go and take a double look at shortly. We're like 4 or 5 blocks away from the L. The L is the above ground train station. Check out the Corolla in front of us, getting a little free car wash. You see? Don't hate the player, baby, you better hate the game. Free car washes all over the city. What you know about that, man? About to give me another car wash. I'm gonna have the cleanest car in the city. So what the mayor says is, I am here today because you matter to me, said Mayor Parker. The meeting focused on dissecting the $6.29 billion. Whoa, that's with a B? I ain't even peep it said B. I thought it said M. Yo, I ain't even peep it was $1 billion budget. Do y'all really need $7 million or $7 billion to clean up Kensington? Bro, you could build 7 Kensingtons for $7 billion. That's crazy. So she said, I came down, you didn't see it on television and you didn't see it on social media because when I did, it wasn't for show. That's her claim. She's saying when she decided to do the cleanup, it wasn't for a fiasco. A stretch of road in Philadelphia's Kensington section will close this week, so workers can carry out the city's plans to relocate the encampment. On my right hand side we have McPherson Square, otherwise known as the notorious Needle Park. Like me because my status. I ain't living lavish. Ooh, they had the mace on. That's how you know it's summertime. They had mace on. No, Diddy. They had mace on. You just gotta tell them no. Alright, so on my right hand side, I'll be completely honest with y'all. I'm gonna keep it 100% on what I see. I see about 24 individuals sitting in this park on my right, slouched, slumped, laying on blankets. It looks like they're still up to their shenanigans on my right. Now, is it to the same severity or scale as it was before? I don't know. I'll let you be the judge. So I still see a fair amount of folks out here. A fair amount of activity. What I'm gonna do is normally I will make a left here because like the highlight of what's going on is on my left hand side. But I'm gonna go down the avenue on my right, several blocks, turn around the Rocky block, come back up the block where they use for the Rocky home, come up this whole avenue, and then we'll spin out and we'll go around the Tioga, and we'll go a little deeper north. So right now we're at the intersection of F Street and Kensington Avenue. F and Kensington in the Kensington neighborhood. So on my right hand side, I see they put a new mural that says McPherson Gateway Garden. Now, it's new to me because I haven't seen it recently. But for all I know, it could have been there for a few months. But it is relatively new. So we're traveling about 17, 18 miles an hour. I still see folks on my right hand side dipping out. Let's make this left hand side, this left turn right here. On my left side, somebody shooting up on my right. On my left, there used to be a bunch of tents here. We still got the folks, minus the tents. No, on my left they shooting, on my right they shooting. Oh nah, it was pretty. It was pretty for the cameras and for the tabloids and for the Enquirer. But it's gonna take a lot more than cleaning out the encampment. You know, think about a bug infestation, or think about a rodent infestation. When you have a bug or rodent infestation, let's say bugs, for example. You have a bug infestation. My boy walking with his eyes closed. Yo, my boy was just walking with his eyes closed. How is that feasible? Anyway, so if you got a bug infestation, right? Let's say you got a bug infestation. What happens? Why do bugs come out? Bugs come out because you got a food source. So the food source could be sugar, candy, sweets, breadcrumbs, whatever. Right? You still got the food source. As long as the food source is still there, the bugs are still gonna come, right? They're gonna come. But if you eliminate the food source, if you eliminate whatever the rodents, or if you eliminate whatever the bugs are going after, we're gonna make this right coming up on Helen and turn around on Somerset, and then we'll come through the Rocky Block. If you take out whatever they're going after, which in this case would be, let's just say the sugar, right? Metaphorically speaking, let's say the sugar. If you eliminate the food source, then theoretically speaking, you should eliminate the bug problem, right? I think right here, what they're trying to do is they're trying to remove the bugs while leaving the kitchen dirty. You can't do that. You can't try to keep a clean house bug free while you got sugar, breadcrumbs, and all sorts of stuff all over your countertops. Right? So if you guys get my analogy, I hope that makes sense. So they just relocated the bug nest, right? But the sugar is still around. So since the sugar is still around, the bugs are gonna come back out and feed, if that makes any sense. Yeah, I see people on my left dipping out. Let's go through the Rocky Block. Right now we're on Ruth. This is the 2700 block of Ruth Street. Crap, we're behind a trash truck. Check it. You peep how when we pulled up, he was injecting himself. Damn, Mayor Cheryl Parker. I don't see where that $6.29 billion has went to thus far. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can get around these gentlemen working. Alright, we're pulling up to Tusculum Street. For those of you Rocky fans who like Rocky Balboa, this is the block that they shot the original Rocky on. This is his house on my left hand side. On my left-hand side in 3, 2, 1, 1. Boom, right there on my left. First house to the left. And this scene right here comes out in the movie. And there's actually a building on the left-hand side in the movie. When in the beginning, when he walks up, he turns his corner, there's a bunch of guys outside singing or whatever. Well, that building is no longer there, as you can see on my left. But this is the actual block they shot the Rocky movie on. And I know for some of the regular viewers, it's like I'm singing to the choir, I'm preaching to the choir, like, yo, Tune, we already know where the Rocky block is at, bro. Why you keep saying the same thing? We've done heard it 72 times. But what about the 73rd time when the brand new viewer come to the channel and don't know I just passed through the Rocky block? So I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm supposed to go right, but I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna go left just so I can bust a U-turn here and we can start off our little exploration under here. And then we'll exit Kensington Avenue. I gotta wait because there's a lot of traffic. In 3, 2, 1, boom, got him. So check it out. Under here was pretty troubled also. And look on my left, look on my right. I'm gonna make a U-turn here on purpose, just because that was the plan when I made that left. And bro on my right was shooting up in his stomach. That's one thing, that the shooting locations will change and the arm track will no longer work. Then they got to go in between like fingers, toes, hips, ankles, ears, behind the earlobe, the neck. I've seen some pretty interesting shooting locations. Passing Somerset. So this is Kensington Avenue, ladies and gentlemen. 2024 Father's Day weekend. You know, you probably got a couple dozen fathers that are trapped under here, experiencing the hell under the L. Because that's what you could call this, hell under the L. We're traveling about 15 miles an hour. We're traveling northbound. Northbound on Kensington Avenue. Passing Monmouth. Gentleman laying on my right-hand side on the ground. I'm sorry, it's too hot for that, my man. Sitting on the cement in long jeans in the heat in the sun? No way. There was another shooting involved. Well, actually, I don't even think it was a shooting. I apologize. Let me be clear. There was another fatality involving a dirt bike this past week. Oh, right there, right there. You see. That's what a $6.29 billion went to. Leaf blowers. She must have, yeah, there's another leaf blower on my right. Right here on my left was super troubled, guys. Right here on my left, there was like bonfires out here. There was soliciting people hanging out in front of these convenience stores that are 24 hours, which are relatively new and problematic, in my opinion. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, recently, on Broad and Westmoreland, there was a Banshee, a ATV. It's a Yamaha Banshee, an ATV off-road vehicle, basically a four-wheeler. For those of you guys who don't know, a four-wheeler crashed into a car a couple days ago on Broad and Westmoreland, and the ATV rider lost his life. We're passing Kensington and Clearfield. Now these two blocks right here were the most problematic. Oh wow, they put up barriers in front of the stores, bro. This is where the 6.29 bill went? No way. You gotta convince me it went to better places than to like little parade guards. Look. The homies is just leaning on it, using it as a place to lean on. On my left was another area that was really problematic, and look, it's finally cleaned up. I mean, depending on your definition of clean. Because there's a lot of debris on the ground. See all the debris? Oh, and they got the leaf blowers out. Damn, son, so those leaf blowers must be getting paid good. $6.29 billion? I still can't believe it. In the beginning, I thought I read 6.29 million. Like 7 million sounded a little bit more reasonable. Billion? With a B? That's a big B to fill. So I'm gonna go straight, I'm gonna go right, and then I'm gonna come up Allegheny and then take these back blocks through the hood. There's another problematic block over here on my left-hand side. Yo, you know what's crazy? Shout out to my little homie. Oh, snap. There's a bunch of people over here on my left. Hold on, let me bang this right. Shout out to my homie Tim, man. Tim dog, big old Timothy. I just talked to him yesterday. He from Philly. Oh, my boy shooting on his neck on my left. Using his phone for the reflection. Yeah, he was using his phone, the Black Mirror-ish phone from the reflection, to see a place to shoot on his neck. I was kind of saddened. I was disheartened, but then again, I was kind of happy to hear that he was okay. I didn't even know one of my buddies got shot right here in Kensington 5 times. Tim. He actually came out in my graffiti documentary when he was younger. It's on my channel also. But now he's a younger adult and he was out here doing his thing. One thing led to another and he got shot 5 times. He almost lost his life, but I got a chance to shake his hand, speak to him. He looked in good spirit, good health. He had his nice little wheel out, his nice little car. For those of y'all don't know what wheel means in street terms. My boy was driving. I was happy to see him healthy. He noticed me. I didn't even notice him. He was driving by in his system, bumping. And he pulled over. Yo, bro. I was like, yo, what's up, dog? And he told me. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. So he almost lost his life out here. But that's the story. I had several other individuals that I knew that got shot out here, booked out here. Actually, my sister, one of my sisters, her baby father, rest in peace, the father of her 2 children, was gunned down right here on Kensington, under the avenue, this block on my left-hand side, about a year ago. About a year and a half ago. So I have a nephew and a niece that are fatherless because their father was killed under here. Right here in front of us, you have Esperanza Health Center. We're at Kensington and Allegheny. That was once a bank. Now they turned it to a health center. It says, to the glory of God for the people of Kensington, 2018. On my right, we're gonna turn up this street, H Street. You'll see next to the old bank building or let's just say the health center on my left, you'll see a bunch of people. Basically, where this car is blocking, they're looking down texting. I don't think he is from around here, so I'm gonna go around him because he's not from around here. Bro had his own mirror shooting up. There was a dude laying down fighting with a stuffed dinosaur. I don't know if you find that funny or if you find it saddening. Depending on your sense of humor, that might be, heartbreaking. But keep in mind, I said plush dinosaur. He was fighting with it. Like, he seemed to be out of it. He was like a little loopy. Then, listen. Somebody rap to that beat. That was a hood SpongeBob ice cream truck. Let's make this left on Westmoreland. Another fire hydrant on. Another fire hydrant. We done pass about 9 fire hydrants. Take a shot for every time you see a fire hydrant. You ain't gonna be able to make it to the end of the video. We got another right here on my left. Let me roll up to that. Look at they conveniently placed the pool right under it so the kids could get free water. Yeah, boy. Who needs a filter system when you're right next to the source, right? It's like Fiji. My mom used to live on this block right here coming up. Now make note, for those of you who don't know me, my mom didn't raise me. My pop raised me. I was born and raised in Kensington. You could say two different parts of Kensington, give or take, but I'm from the north side. But my mom lived on this block right here. This is the 700 block of Westmoreland. She lived all in and around this neighborhood. I got family and friends around here, still to this day. But we just passed her old house on my left. So I used to play like on my right hand side. I've been in this church when it was up and running and when it was abandoned. I shot a music video in that church on my right. I had an uncle, rest in peace, Moyo. His real name was Mizael. He passed away on my right hand side. Let me see, approximately, I'm looking up the block. I would say approximately, I wouldn't say feet. I would say 50 yards maybe. So that's what? 3 yards in a foot, 50 times 3, 150 feet on my right hand side. He lived right here on the left hand side, this corner building on my left. He lived in this building right here on my left. And he went to the Chinese store right up the block from his house. Yeah. Another life lost. This was back in 2005. To my knowledge, I think I was reading up on the person who gunned him down a couple years ago. I was just curious. It was one of those things that out of the blue came to my mind. I think he only served like several years for taking my uncle's life. Yeah, I think he only served like several years. He was one of my younger uncles, one of my youngest, to be clear. He was 22. He passed away 2 weeks before his 23rd birthday. To put that into perspective, I'm 36 now. So I lived to be several years older than my uncle, than several of my uncles, because I had an uncle. This is Ian West. If you know, then you know. I had several uncles that passed away early. Several that passed away early. One passed away at 25, one passed away at 27, one passed away at 22. I think one of my oldest uncles, Mumu, he passed away in his late 40s. That's the one I carried out the house in a body bag when I was, how old was I? 13? I think 13 years old. He passed away in my childhood bedroom. Right now we on Westmoreland. We're actually, it's funny, we're on Westmoreland, but we're traveling westbound. Stuck behind some traffic. I gotta roll down the window. It's kind of hot. I don't want to turn on the air conditioner. Matter of fact, I should probably turn the air conditioner because the heat is gonna make the camera shut off. I forgot all about that. I'm gonna point. Y'all just turn on my air conditioner, y'all. So if y'all hear air, I do apologize. I'm trying to speak loud and clear, but I just had to turn on the air conditioner because I completely forgot about when it's really hot. The sun acts like a magnifying glass, or I should say the windshield acts like a magnifying glass because of the sun, and it heats up the camera, therefore shutting it off, and we won't get a full hour clip. So I'm trying to give y'all the benefit of the doubt. I'm trying to give y'all a little hour drive through some parts of the hood. There's no way I can cover all 150 plus neighborhoods, 144 plus square miles of the city of Philadelphia. North Philly, South Philly, Southwest Philly, West Philly, Northwest Philly, Northeast Philly. There's no way I can do it all in one sitting. But I just wanted to give y'all a little run through while I'm here. I was mainly here for Father's Day weekend. I'm gonna keep it a bean with y'all. I was not here to document footage. But I figured while I'm here, before we about to get on the highway soon. So before I get on the highway, you know what I mean? Before I head out, let's give y'all a little taste of the streets of Philadelphia. You dig? You're passing Rose Hill. Right now we're on B and Westmoreland. B and Westmoreland. But there's always good things and there's always bad things that's happening in the city of Philadelphia. There's always crime, new crime headlines that are always taking place. But there's always good things that don't get highlighted every so often. I know someone recently brought it upon my attention. We have Stetson Middle School on my left hand side. We're at Kip Street on my right is where they filmed an episode of Parking Authority. The little dude got his baby blue Honda Civic booted. Passing Ella, we're approaching A and West. But there's always all sorts of headlines that take place here in Philadelphia. Good headlines and rough headlines. Not, the not so pretty headlines. Unfortunately, the rougher headlines get covered a lot more often. They get more screen time, which is why sometimes If I document an area, you might hear me discuss rougher headlines, more darker and gruesome topics, versus the better things, because sometimes the news doesn't highlight a lot of time on the better things that happen in these neighborhoods. We're passing Water Street. For example, some recent headlines from 6 ABC. You got 2 injured after being shot inside car. Suspect assault in Philadelphia. We're passing Front and Westmoreland. Let's make this right-hand turn. Let's turn right. This is just a random right, but on my left is the old 25th Police District. I think it was the 24th and 25th, right? Police District. I actually did a tour inside this building. It's on my channel. I went into it when it was abandoned. So if you guys want to see what the inside of that looks like, you can check out that video. It's on my channel. I explored the abandoned police station. Check this out. I lost my baby. Family speaks out after teen fatally shot in Philly. You see? We're at Ontario, front in Ontario. We're gonna make this left-hand turn coming up on Tioga Street. Police, here's another headline. Police have confiscated over 180 illegal dirt bikes and ATVs. Non-registered motor vehicles, including but not limited to scooters, dirt bikes, four-wheelers, supermotos, things that are not supposed to be. Now, supermotos are supposed to be on the street. Scooters are supposed to be on the street, given that they got tags and they're insured and the driver is licensed. But if they were confiscated, that means they either weren't registered, they probably tried to evade arrest, maybe they didn't have a license, they got chased. Now, one of the things that she said, part of that $6.29 billion budget is going to the dirt bike issue. They're not supposed to chase them. So they're going to try to pin them in as safely as possible, whatever that means. We're at Masher, Tioga and Masher Street. So Philadelphia City Council blocks the lease renewal on homeless shelter. Wow, dig that, guys. Let me turn off the air conditioner and roll down the windows. I repeat, Philadelphia City Council blocks the lease renewal on homeless shelter. I'll let that sink. Philadelphia leaders to open pools in time for impending heat wave. Here's another headline. Philly police search for burglars posing as construction workers. Wow. It goes to show you, huh? Burglars are getting creative now. You don't normally have a lot of burglars in Philly. There's not a lot of burglaries. It especially depends on what part of the city you're in. But growing up in my part of the city, we didn't experience a lot of burglaries. I mean, I guess look at the design of the homes. They're row homes. So you had to either get in through the front or get in through the back. Get in through the back meant you had to go through an alley, which may consist of dogs. You may have homeowners carrying firearms. This is a beautiful vehicle on my left. This Ford. Nice. Let's go straight. Last time I was here, I took a little spin through here on my left. I try to do my best to not pass through the same place multiple times, although it's Philadelphia. It's only 144 square miles, and I'm gonna cover what means most to me. Yo! This ain't funny, but they left that Ford pickup truck on bricks, on pieces of wood. This Ford pickup on my right, they must have stole the rims from it. Look at it. Crazy, right? I've seen it all. I've seen cars left on bricks. I've seen cars left on jack stands. I've seen cars left on crates. I've seen cars left on tires, on wood. I've seen cars left on the drum, on the actual rotors, just dropped to the ground with nothing on it. I've seen cars left in all sorts of predicaments. You got the music playing. You can hear you got the dirt bikes on my left. Speaking of dirt bikes, Yeah, you see? So the thing is that the dirt bike thing isn't gonna stop. It's like we talked about earlier. Remember we talked about the source? We talked about the rodent situation with having sugar, and if you just remove the roach and you leave the sugar there, it's still gonna have roaches. Well, in this case, with the dirt bikes, we still got a predicament. You can tow all the dirt bikes you want. They've been doing this for the last 10 summers. You can tow all the dirt bikes you want, right? But if you don't create a solution to the problem being there is no motocross or ATV parks in the Philadelphia area, in the drivable half an hour to almost hour area, we don't have a ATV park nearby. Now, one was supposed to be in the works. There was like a proposition for one a couple years ago from what I heard. I don't know what happened with that, but there was supposed to be one that was never made. Now, you can keep on taking the dirt bikes all you want. Every year, you can keep on collecting 200 plus dirt bikes. These working class young men and women, because women ride dirt bikes and four-wheelers out here too, not as avidly, but they still join the pack. You can still take these men and women's dirt bikes, right? But if they're still gonna have the urge to ride with no ATV park nearby, they're still gonna buy dirt bikes, and the same thing's gonna happen every year. So it's just gonna be a never-ending cycle. Let's make this right-hand turn on Allegheny. Now we're at Allegheny, where it turns off to Sedgley and turns to the neighborhood called Tioga Nicetown, which is two neighborhoods combined into one. Tioga is one neighborhood, Nicetown is another neighborhood, respectively located right next to each other. Famous people from this area, from like the Nicetown, Tioga area, you got like Gilly the Kid, you got Wallow, obviously from that area. You got Kevin Hart from like right there on Broad and Erie, which is within the same area, Nicetown, Tioga. You got Y Rico, which is an up and coming content creator and YouTuber from this hood. Check him out, WHYRICO, Y Rico. Let him know Tune 215 sent you. But he's from this hood and he's blowing up on YouTube. You got several other individuals, even musicians. You even got rappers. Like back in the day, Rockefeller's Chris and Eve, wasn't they from around this hood and all of that? Then you got even notorious folks like drug lords from around here. You got a interesting gumbo pot of notable people from this area. You got the serial killer. What's his name? I can't even think of his name right this second. From right around the corner. We're at 9th and Tioga. What's his name? Heineck. Gary Heineck's from around the corner. Gary Heineck was a serial killer. Well, I wouldn't say serial, because it was all confined to a specific gender and group of individuals. But he did have several people locked and held captive in his basement. He was feeding the remains of one of the victims to the other ones. So in order to stay alive, those other girls had to eat that female's remains. But that's in this hood too. So if you travel left, you hit more of the Tioga hood. I'm gonna travel a bit more. I would say, should I go straight or right? Because I could go left, straight, or right. Straight is northbound, right is eastbound, left is westbound. Westbound is gonna get more dead and discreet. Dead meaning not dead as in scary dead, but not a lot of activity. Right and north is gonna take us to a little bit more activity. So maybe we can go northbound, and maybe we'll see what Hunting Park. I'm kind of skeptical to go through Hunting Park because of music. There's gonna be a lot of copyright because a lot of people gonna be bumping their systems. But I hate to say it, I kind of want y'all to know what Hunting Park looks like in the summer in Philly. And even though summer is into next week, right? Summer's next week. We're at Erie, 9th and Erie. We're gonna continue traveling forward. We're crossing over Erie Avenue. See, you got the systems on my left, people playing their music and all that. Right now, We're in the Hunting Park neighborhood. See how quickly we went from Fair Hill to Kensington to Hunting Park to whatchamacallit, Tioga, Nicetown. And we're gonna continue traveling northbound. So what do you guys think about that cleanup? How do you guys think that cleanup went? I'll tell you from my personal opinion. I think my opinion means something because I'm a lifelong resident. So I'll chime in. I think it's a start. She has high hopes. Poor execution. If something only lasts a week or two, that's like a roach bomb only lasting a week or two. You know, I don't mean to keep on using a roach analogy, but I'm trying to do it as tasteful as possible, because these are human beings that we're talking about. These are mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters. These are somebody's kids, somebody's parents. They're real human beings out here in the streets of Philadelphia. And this same problem is happening in LA, Skid Row, Los Angeles. The same problem is happening in the Boston Mile. The same problem is happening in New York. The same problem is happening in Chicago. The same problem is happening in all the big cities. The same problem is happening with the opioid crisis across America. So it's a start. We have Hunting Park on my left-hand side. But I think there needs to be a solution for the root of the problem. That's all I'm going to say. There's a root. There's a root. You know, we're not talking about the square root. We're talking about the stems, what goes into the soil. And she just scratched the surface. Now, I admire the initiative, but there needs to be more done. Hunting Park is closed, so I'm not going to go to my left, and I'm going to roll up the window because they're already playing music. But this is Hunting Park on my left-hand side. And I would love to take you through there because I can only emphasize how packed that park is right now. But it's bumper to bumper parked. If I can describe it for you guys, there's grills, there's canopy tents, there's beach chairs, there's water guns, there's Nerf guns, there's stuff for sale, there's motorcycles, there's cars with systems, cars with rims, off-road vehicles, supermotos, same things we're talking about confiscating. Slingshots with systems. Slingshots is the big 3-wheel vehicle. Anyway, I'm gonna make this right because we can't go left, and I'm not gonna try to go get stuck in traffic for the duration of this video. So I would rather spend the last several minutes actually going through the neighborhood so y'all can see what the neighborhood is like right now. Let's make a right on 8th Street just cause. These are real residential blocks right here. So this is giving you a real idea of like life in row homes. RHR, row home raised. You ever wonder what RHR stand for? Well, if you never wondered, now you're gonna wonder. RHR is for row home raised. Shout out to Antro. All right, we're gonna make this left-hand turn on Lycoming because the next block is closed. There's a lot of block closings for Father's Day weekend because it all depends on the block captain. But the block captains will go like the week or two prior, 3 weeks prior, maybe the month prior. They'll go through every house and say, hey, would you like to sign this petition to close the block, blah, 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 blah. And in the summer, most blocks are closed up until 12 anyway because they do street cleaning. Some blocks out here, it's like Thursday afternoons or something like that, but it varies from block to block. But most blocks are closed anyway in the summer. Oh, and also for lunches. The block captain also has an option to sign up for free lunches for the block. So what that means is all the kids in the community will have a free space lunch. That might have like peaches, fruits, sandwiches, peanut butter and jelly, milk, things like that, crackers and cookies. It may not seem like a lot, but considering there's a lot of low-income households, some of these kids may not see 3 meals a day. So having help from that extra meal goes a long way. You know what I mean? Let's make this left, just cause. It's like playing the lottery because you never know what you're gonna. You know, it's like what's in the Wonder Ball or how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop. You never know, like what block you're gonna turn to, what's gonna have what type of. You could pull up to a block and there's a fight. You could pull up to a block and there's a party. You could pull up to a block and there's 2 or 3 cats chasing this one cat around for you know what. Starts with a P, ends with a Y. Begins with her first name. Ends with cat. But yeah, you know what I mean? So, I guess we could use Forrest Gump's analogy. You know when he said life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're gonna get? We could apply that to Philly. Life is like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're gonna get. You can go through a block, you could get shot. You go through a block, you see a dude on an e-scooter. You go through a block, you might see a girl stripping and shaking and twerking. You go through a block, you might see somebody dipping. You might see 2 people slapboxing. You might see somebody wheeling a dirt bike. You might have somebody cut you off in a white Tahoe. It happens. Like, you know what I mean? But you get something different in every block. Give my man credit for holding not 1, not 2, but 3 cases of water. 3 cases of water. Oh wow, and the lady on my right getting out too. Oh my gosh. Somebody's getting out on my right, somebody's getting out on my left. Mini Cooper on my right. Could have parked, probably small enough to pull right in. But because the white Highlander in front of us was unloading, the Mini Cooper took the opportunity to unload also. Come on, child, you can do it. You can do it, child. Close the door. Close the door for dad. Close the door for daddy. No, he left the door open, so now dad can't drive off. Now dad has to reach over, close it himself. Thank you, Dad. Happy Father's Day, sir. Mini Cooper. 2006 to 2009 body, right? The Italian job model. That's the vehicle that my wife admires oh so much. My brother had the same one. Same color and everything. But his was convertible. Me and her rode in it. And let me tell you how it was like a Matchbox car. It was so tiny. Uh-oh, I forgot the music moment. But yeah, we got in my brother's little Mini Cooper. Oh my gosh, that changed. It changed my outlook on Mini Coopers. I don't know if it changed hers. They're still a cute looking little car, but they're not meant for large families. Really tiny vehicles in the back. The back ain't got no space. Oh, he busted Willie. Oh, see? You never know what you get in the pot of gumbo. In this case, in this bowl, we got a Willie scooter, a Razor scooter. Alright, we're passing Marshall. I'm gonna make this right-hand turn on 7th Street. Yeah, you got Kabani Savage. That's from this hood. Remember earlier I said notorious or infamous drug lords? You can look them up. Kabani Savage was from the Hunting Park hood. So we're right around the corner from the Roosevelt Boulevard, which is one of America's deadliest highways. We're not gonna go on the Roosevelt Boulevard right now. I've documented that before. You can check it out sometime. We're gonna make this right-hand turn on Cayuga. We're on 7th and Cayuga Street. We're at 6th and Cayuga. We're about to cross over 6th Street. We're heading eastbound on the 500 block of Cayuga Street. And continue traveling forward. Yeah, happy Father's Day, sir. I see you. That's awesome. You got the father walking with both his kids. Living la vida loca. All right, we're coming up to 5th Street. I guess we'll close out this segment with, we're pulling up to a corner that's very popular, not for such a good thing. On my left-hand side, you'll see a funeral home. This is Campagnola Funeral Home. Right here on my left. In 3, 2, 1. You see that hearse? There's been too many funerals held at that place. It's a very popular corner. When you come through this corner, you'll see the whole line of people who follow, you know, and I don't know, what is that called? A procession? What is that called? When they take the person through their final, you know what I mean, before they bury them. Well, that corner, Campagnola, and I've been there for a few funerals. My wife's been there for a few funerals. Literally, like last year before I left Philly, I had to go there for a funeral. Rest in peace, Ed. But yeah, man, I think us being city folks, especially like when you grow up in a rougher city like this, we're desensitized. It's not a good thing to be desensitized to passings, to unalivings. But it's the harsh reality of city life, urban city life versus the suburban country life, where people who live in the suburbs are not exposed to this type of lifestyle. You know what I mean? We just passed. Oh, he willing on my left with the scoot. Yeah, with the one hand up with it, dancing with it. All right, we're passing one of Omi and the Hellcat's ex-restaurants. If you know, then you know. Omi and the Hellcat was a Philadelphia millionaire. Ooh, that's a nice bike on my right. Yeah, Suzuki moped. Ooh, that thing was clean. 2-stroke. Yeah, Omi and the Hellcat, Philadelphia hood millionaire. Literally had over 50 million, probably over 100 million, 20 plus cars. Living it up. Right now he's incarcerated, but that man owned over 300 properties in the Philadelphia area, including several businesses, bars, restaurants, and so on. And he's of Hispanic descent. I believe he's like Dominican and Puerto Rican, maybe, something like that. But he's a hood millionaire. So I guess we'll close out on that, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed this ride, let me know. If I should cover some more, let me know. I'm thinking about covering some more quiet, small towns in the area. I don't know. You guys aren't giving me the vibe like you guys want more. You guys just want more Philly. And Philly costs. You know, so if you're willing to pay to play, hey, you gotta show me. Run these numbers up, run these views up. Let me know what y'all think about Pittsburgh. Should I cover some hoods in Pittsburgh? Should I cover like some small towns? Maybe some like small retirement towns? Maybe other places that you guys probably never heard of or never seen of. Small towns on the western side of PA. Maybe, I don't know, Somerset, PA, Wimber, PA, Altoona, PA, Indiana, PA, Portage, PA, Johnstown, PA. Maybe like little towns on the west side of PA. Because right now, low key, that's more my neck of the woods. That's, you know, that's an hour or so closer to me than coming back to Philly for this 4-hour trip for y'all just to give me 3.5 views. You know what I mean? It's your homeboy Tune, Mr. Tune, Tune Dallas, Tune Ski, Tunism, Tune Be Chillin'. You already know Tune in Alany right now. And Tune is tuning out. Back to the sticks I go.